Hey there, hi there, ho there, my Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. You're as welcome as can be. Welcome to your twin flame reading for February, March 2020, though timeless. Whenever you're supposed to see it is when you're supposed to see it. I am your reader for the next 50, 60 minutes or so. Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive. Damn happy to be working for you today, my water signs, my Scorps. If you are new to my channel, please do like, subscribe, hit notifications. Why? Because I'm the fun one. Comment as you like below in the comment section. Because these twin flame reads are really intense and tricky this time around. Not that twin flame reads aren't ever anything else. But also to my subscribers, thank you so very much for getting me to that 1,000 and beyond mark. I'm so truly thankful that I did a video thanking you all. It's the first video link in the description box below underneath the actual description for this video. Please go watch. I give a little blessing. It was done for the new moon, but it is certainly a timeless blessing and gratitude for all of you. Thank you so much. And Drunk Tarot is coming. I think we're going to do it this Sunday. We're getting our logistics together. We'll see. That being said, let's get down to this read, shall we? This is a general read, not a personal read. So please just take what resonates, leave what doesn't, go with your gut. You're a water sign, I don't have to tell you that. Usually water signs are well aware of when things resonate within their own field or not. But do check your other signs. That's why I try and keep them informative. I am a spiritual teacher as well as a reader, have been for a really long time. Oh, go to my website or click on the About Mal link below. That'll give you, I wrote a lovely little thing about my career. Cracks me up. It'll make a really good book someday, and that's in progress as well, because my career reads like fiction, girl. Please do check the description box below. There's a lot of cool stuff down there. That being said, general reading, check your other signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. But this is a twin flame contract read. So what we're really looking at is two different parties within a soul contract structure. Now, not the same as a soulmate, they're different. There are links in the description box defining one video from me, one video from a brilliant spiritual teacher, intuitive healer called Matt Kahn, if you are familiar with him. Matt Kahn, All for Love is the name of his video channel, which is just stellar. I love his work so much. Blessed be. Never met him, right? I'm not getting any financial kickbacks from him or Hay House or anything by mentioning him. I just pass on teachers that have done something for me, and he really, really has with this whole twin flame soulmate clarification. Go check out his work if you haven't yet, because it'll explain these reads a hell of a lot more than I can in such a brief amount of time. We are going to be looking at the two parties in this twin flamer contract as divine feminine and divine masculine. It has nothing to do with bodily gender. It has everything to do with energetic dynamic. I am definitely considered a divine feminine, at least I consider myself that, and but we're all fluid in that, so you're going to have to pay attention to, in the reading, to figure out which one you are if you're not really clear on that, and also with twin flame reads, you tend to mirror each other, so again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, because the bottom line of a twin flame contract, you teach each other how to love yourselves. You teach each other how to heal yourselves. You teach each other self-respect, right? Usually by not giving each other the love that you want, but giving you what you need, which is often tough love or lack of love altogether, so that you learn, sort of like the grain of sand in the belly of the oyster that makes the pearl of wisdom. It sucks, you don't have to like it, but that's the way these things go, apparently. And the idea that you only have one twin flame contract in that context just can't be true. You can have several over one lifetime and hundreds over many lifetimes. Keep coming back, not helping each other heal, that's soulmate, and nor are they all romantic sexual. My father was a twin flame contract, my mother is a soulmate contract, so my mom helped me heal, my father taught me how to love, accept, and appreciate myself, because I'm a gay witch. He wanted a heterosexual Catholic and a Republican. I am not a Republican. I am a liberal, and I will choose to vote as my soul tells me. Thank you very much. ain't no fool, I know who I'm voting for. That being said, let's move out of politics and deeper into this reading. The more you can stay focused on your breath, right? Partner with your breath for this reading. Scorpio, the deeper you'll be able to be in the present moment and really feel the guidance and the grace coming from within you, while I am doing the same on my end. So we're both kind of doing the reading. You from the inside, me obviously taking it from the inside, communicating it to you that way. So you're sort of getting it both ways, so to speak. Let's keep going, Scorpio. Ready? We're going to start with we're going to start with Caroline Myss archetype cards. All the decks that I read are at the bottom of the description box. Have fun scrolling down because I got some good stuff in that. I've got some good stuff in my box. Don't we all? Maybe not everybody. That being said, we're going to get 3 cards from this, so let's take a nice deep breath. You'll see how this spread goes. I'm liking it a lot. Here we go. Breathe. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, I need 3 Caroline Myss archetype cards, 1 for the divine feminine, 1 for the divine masculine, and 1 for the overall twin flame contract. This Scorpio collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for February, March 2020. Please, my collective pantheons, I need one. We'll start with the divine feminine. Who is the divine feminine in this Scorpio sun, moon, rising, Venus sign contract for February, March 2020? That's her, face down. 1 for the divine masculine, please. Our second party here, face down. And a 3rd card for the contract itself. This Scorpio collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for February, March 2020. There it is. Poked me in the hand. I'm going to take that as the card. Before I reveal what these are, keep in mind archetypes are pieces of our soul contract. They are neutral, as toxic as they are healing, as shadowy as they are light, as lead as they are gold. It's all about where are you in the percentage of alchemy from lead to gold. The shadow is supposed to trigger you. It's the stuff you don't want to look at, the stuff you don't want anybody to know about, not even yourself most of the time. So it's what you are learning to heal. You have to heal this yourself. It's what the twin flame contract is for. Perhaps triggering it, bringing it up, because twin flames are triggery, tumultuous, transformative, tricky, triggery. Did I say triggery? Because they're definitely triggery, right? Everyone's getting triggered nowadays. But the thing is, if somebody trips your trigger, it was your trigger. So thank them silently and from a distance if necessary. So let's have a look-see-dooksy. Who is our divine feminine? The companion archetype, come on down. This is the 4th time, I think, that the companion archetype has shown up in this series of twin flame readings. So there's something going on with the companion. It has come up more times divine feminine, but it did come up at least once, I remember, for the divine masculine. So, you know what? Hold on one second. I have the list right here. It came up in Aries as the divine masculine companion, Gemini as the divine feminine companion. Where else did she show up? I thought there was another one. Companion. Oh, Taurus, the divine feminine. So that's 1, 2, 3. This will be the 4th time. We're 4 out of 8. That's half, right? 8th house Scorpio. So let me read you what's going on with her. The shadow attribute. Betrayal by misusing confidences. Loss of personal identity, which is understandable in the shadow, right? It's like you're somebody's companion, you learn all these things about them, and then you start misusing that by sharing the confidences outside of the confidentiality agreement, so to speak. And then, of course, people do that because they're losing their sense of identity. They're so identified with the relationship itself that they become dependent upon it. So really, there's a particularly toxic brand of codependence that comes with the shadow side of the companion. Keep in mind, the companion archetype is part of the healing family of archetypes, so that can be where somebody is so identified with being the healer in the relationship that crazy shit goes down, right? The light attribute, loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness, right? That's what you want in a companion. Sidekick, partner, right? a toady is a horrible word, but a bully has a toady, right? So that sort of loyalty and unselfishness, but yet with that tenacity to perhaps hold a boundary and retain their own sense of identity, knowing their worth in the partnership. So there we go, Divine Feminine. That's the third time that's come up in this series, fourth time total. Well, third time is Divine Feminine, fourth time total. So let's look at our Divine Masculine here. I love this archetype. I have this archetype. The Hermit. Yes, its own card in the tarot. We'll see if it pops up. We're going to use two different tarot decks. But I love the Hermit archetype. I do. I am a Virgo with a Pisces moon. If it wasn't for Leo rising, Mars conjunct, I wouldn't be doing this, right? I'd be like holed up somewhere in the mountains, just like, I don't know what I would be doing, probably fetching water and cultivating food. I'm a really good gardener. So the shadow attribute of the Hermit. Here we go. Withdraws from society out of fear or negative judgments of others. Look, we all have periods of doing that. There's a difference between taking some time and space to yourself, needing to get away, and being a hermit, right? The hermit goes voluntarily, but motivated by fear here in the shadow, withdraws from society out of fear. Well, coronavirus, right? A lot of people are holding up, but that doesn't necessarily make it a hermit archetype soul power, or negative judgments of others. Oh, the world is just crazy out there, and it's election years, so they completely unplug. Refusing to help those in need, which is really not just turning your eye the other way, but really saying, no, you can all go fucking fend for yourself, right? Refusing to help others that are actually in need, that you can help. And by the way, yeah, I might not have the money to like feed hundreds of people, but I pray every single day and every single night for the well-being of all. And this is my service to try and help in any way that I can. Even though I have strong hermit tendencies, here's the light side of it. I love this. Seeks solitude to focus intently on inner life. Did I say I was a Pisces moon? And serves personal creativity. What, you think it doesn't take personal creativity to get off a toots and get this all together? Of course it does. I embrace my hermit archetype. Thankfully, it's not lifelong. Archetypes usually come reason, season, or lifetimes. Like a little bit, a lot of it, or all your entire life. I only have it coming and going, thank God. So I really enjoy the Hermit myself, and for the Divine Masculine, that would make sense. I'm gonna like pull back, recharge, do my own batteries. So already the Companion and the Hermit, this can be somebody who's, yes, very isolated, and this is like maybe the one person that can interact, maybe one out of a chosen few, or maybe this Hermit has just really, really pulled back out of this relationship entirely. Let's keep going and find out with our third card here, the overall relationship, and we've got the Judge. So we are looking at a real weighing of this relationship on both sides, because if this is her and this is him, remember we're not talking about bodily gender, we're talking yin and yang, right? Divine feminine, divine masculine, then both of them are dealing with this Judge archetype thing going on here. In the shadow, offering only destructive criticism, it's very twin flamey, misusing business, legal, or criminal authority. Maybe not in this relationship per se. Light attribute, balancing justice and compassion, right? Is this fair what's going on here? Is there equal balanced give and take of energy and communication and etc. going on there? Has the Hermit completely pulled back? So they're both trying to, in the light at least, balance justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. Is it fair? Is it balanced? What's going on here? Probably not, because that's what twin flames would do. So those are our three main energies. Every other card that hits the table will be clarifying that. So let's get down to it. Using Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue. We're just going to get three. We're going to build 3 horizontal lines. You'll see. It's a great spread. I've done similar to this before for Twin Flames, but there's a twist in this one with the tarot that I really like, and I think I'll keep it if they, they change it. My gods are like, try it this way. And it's always a different way in. So cool. I'm learning so much. Yeah, here we go. Breathe. Oh, one more, please. Oh, my angels, there you are. Hi, my angels, please. 3 cards, one for the Divine Feminine, one for the Divine Masculine, and one for the overall contract in this Scorpio Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign Twin Flame contract for February, March 2020. Please, one for the Divine Feminine Companion. What is the healing angel? This is healing with the angel. What is the healing angel that walks with her in this contract? They're all face down. I'll reveal them one at a time. For the Divine Masculine Hermit. Felt that one practically jumped out of the deck. And one for the overall Scorpio Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign Twin Flame contract for February, March 2020. Please, my angels. What is the angel kind of helping this relationship along for their own individual healing? We've got the Companion Divine Feminine with abundance. Now, this card speaks to me of extra, right? Like, you know how that has become like its own meaning to that word? It's like, oh my God, she's so extra. Oh my God, that's so extra. Well, you could say, oh my God, that's so abundant, but it doesn't have the same verbal effect. So yeah, we immediately want to plug this into money, but it can be an abundance of time, an abundance of healing, an abundance of all sorts of stuff. And I just think it's really funny that the angel's playing a lute. I don't know how that plugs in with abundance, but there you have it, right? So an abundance of old string musical instruments there. So without going too deeply into that, we're going to refer back to that with what, particularly the tarot cards that follow, because it's just showing the angel of abundance. It can be that this companion is receiving or has already received, created, evolved, gestated, created within themselves an abundance of something. So probably has a lot to give, one would think, as a companion, particularly maybe wanting to give it to our Hermit archetype, who is in divine guidance. So this is really has been guided into this. So if you're the Divine Feminine, this may not be all about you. They are being guided within to Hermit to pull back for their own spiritual needs. Look, we all get guidance and grace through our intuition. The intuition is the voice of the soul, if you want to go there, though there are plenty of drug dealers who aren't saying prayers every morning just to avoid the undercover cops, right? So we all have intuition. But this particular, with divine guidance, this Hermit may not know that they are actually receiving downloads of some kind, even if it's subconsciously, right? But they just, I just need to get back. I need to get away. I need to look at this. I need to maybe not run away, but go within. There's a difference between running away and running toward, right? So the Hermit in its light runs toward, right? Inner. The Hermit in its shadow runs away from. So the divine guidance here, it's a potent vibe, I feel, on this, calling him inward and perhaps stepping back from, if not running away from, this contract, at least for the time frame shown here. The overall contract, interesting, because judges review contracts, right? So both of them may have this thing of really trying to figure it out, if this is balanced, if this is happy, if this is healthy. And with the Children card, there are a couple of different meanings to that. Now, let me just step back and say, there are plenty of people who are in twin flame contracts that are married to each other. It just happens, right? A lot of the sitcoms that we watch are actually a very twin flamey relationship. And they're all resolved within a half hour, right, or so. Not realistic. Not in a twin flame. That's ongoing stuff. So there may be children involved here, and if that's the case, that's what you need to look at. Well, what's fair to the kids? Yeah, if we're miserable and we're hating each other, it's not fair to put them through this turmoil, this tumult. Even though we are learning how to heal each other, we can do that without the kids witnessing that. That might be part of it. But then there's a huge part of the collective, even if there are literal children involved here, that this is about the inner children of both involved. That there may very well be issues from childhood. And I'm seeing between ages 1 and 7, like that kind of stuff for some of them. Yeah, 7 to 14 as well. There's that, second, because chakras develop in 7-year stages. So the root chakras 1 through 7 8 through 14 is the second chakra and upwards. So yeah, maybe you could say between age 1 and age 14, but really feeling more of the root chakra stuff. Physicality, stability, very Scorpio, money, sex, power, other people's resources, how you were raised tribally to deal with wealth and abundance, right? About your own spirituality. So there's a lot going on in this one, and if there are literal children involved here, then doubly so, maybe even triply so, right? Before we set that in stone, let's keep going because we've got 2 tarot decks to look at. Daughters of the Moon will be the voice of the goddesses, right, for the divine feminine. The mythic tarot, Daughters of the Moon, the mythic tarot for the divine masculine will be the voice of the gods, to clarify, for the divine masculine. We're getting one of these, whoops, for the divine feminine companion, and then one of these for the overall contract. You'll see, this is the twist. I like this one. Breathe. Oh my goddesses, please. One card in clarity, first for the divine feminine companion, then one for the overall twin flame contract. What twin flame contract? The Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for February, March 2020. Please, one first for the divine feminine companion, and then one, please, for this judge archetype, the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract, February, March 2020. Easy. Let's see if it's painful in a minute. Let's get the divine masculines while we are here. Breathe. Oh, felt good. My gods, please, 2 cards. One for the divine masculine Hermit and one for the overall contract. This Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for February, March 2020. This just took on, because it's the Hermit. I get it. Whew, this just went deep, right down into my belly. The divine feminine's up here. The divine masculine. So please, one for this divine masculine Hermit, please. One for him, face down, and one for this judge archetype, Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for February, March 2020. Here we go. All right, that was definitely an energy shift. That was like downshift. Let's look at this. We got this divine feminine here with abundance. Let's see if this indicates what type of abundance. Well, 5 of Flames, the 5 of Wands, usually seen as a combative card. Here, this is Pele, the volcano, something that's been brewing for a while that is ready to explode. So we're looking at an abundance of the element of fire, creativity, sexuality, passion. Passion blocked comes out as anger, comes out as rage, comes out as revenge. So for a companion archetype, there's definitely some motivating energy here, but things are changing. 5 is the number of change, not transformation necessarily, but change. They're not exactly the same thing. The wind can change direction. It doesn't transform from being wind into something else. Then it turns into rain. That's sublimation, meteorology. You get me? It's a metaphor. A meteorological metaphor from Mark and Mal. A lot of M's. So if we're looking at Pele the volcano here, that goddess energy boiling up from the magma beneath the Earth's crust and bursting through, that could be a Kundalini activation, but it's definitely, let's call it what it is, abundant. It's extra volcano. Can I have a divine feminine companion with extra volcano, please? Yeah, all right. So we're feeling that. If she's angry, she's very angry. If she's passionate, she's very passionate. If she's compassionate, she's very compassionate, right? Let's look what we got here for our Hermit divine masculine with divine. The divine masculine Hermit with divine guidance is so right on the nose like these two. This could easily be the Scorpio. This is more Scorpio energy. Doesn't mean that the divine feminine is not the Scorpio here. Maybe they both are. Jinkies. Okay, 2 of Wands, literally dealing with, do I want to do this or do I want to do that? So really trying to tune into the divine guidance, whether they call that introspection or contemplation. There's definitely a pulling back here. Two of Swords is the intellect battling back and forth. Like analysis. Well, if I could do this, like strategizing. This is about getting your shit together and preparing with what you want to do with the Ace of Wands, right? That phallic creative energy. Again, another fire card. They seem to be in alignment this way. But in terms of, well, do I want to do it this way or do I want to do it this way? It's really element of fire, that it's juggling a choice here between two different expressions or modality of the element of fire. Sexuality, creativity, all that stuff. Now, nothing here necessarily screaming romantic sexual. I mean, even this child archetype in the third row here can speak of the inner child, but if they are married and together, then they're going to have to really balance this out fairly and compassionately, justly with these kids, if they have kids, or to protect and nurture the children of their own heart, right? Their own inner children. So, for the Divine Feminine, we've got the card of the Fool. In this deck, the Dreamer, right? So, not the dreamer in terms necessarily of imagination, but that dreaming of what the next thing is, right? The Fool is not the first card of the major arcana cycle, nor is it the last. It's the 0. It's in between the world, the universe, regardless of what the deck might call it. That changes from deck to deck. That last card, the world, usually the snake swallowing its own tail, sort of that idea, end of cycle. Then comes the dreamer, then comes the magician, in this deck, the witch, right? To initiate and begin a whole new series. So she might sort of be in between the worlds, so to speak, in terms of what she wants, sort of dreaming, oh my God, if I could have it any way. And of course, that would bring forth an abundance of some magma, right? That the explosion of wanting that to transform the desire into something else. Because for the Divine Masculine here, by the way, these cards affect both of them. We have the Queen of Cups, which is the Scorpio card. Wanted to hold off on that a little bit, not just dive right in with that one. So there is something here absolutely about not just a new beginning in the sense of preparing, and this is what I want to do, which can totally be what this Divine Masculine is contemplating here. New lives for both of them, both dreaming about the next cycle, who they want to be, what they want to do, who they want to do it with. But with that Scorpio card, we are looking at 8th house stuff. Money, sex, power, other people's resources, exchange, right? Mysticism, sexuality, all that Scorpio stuff, which you really need to know about, because this is it's another way of saying this is definitely a Scorpio contract, right? There's some deeper stuff here, maybe even some hidden stuff going on here. But with that card of the dreamer, a leap of faith is going to be necessary. Feels like the Divine Feminine's ready to make that leap with that volcano and abundance, but I can't tell, and it's going to be different throughout the collective, whether they want to leap towards or away from. Sort of like that's why the Hermit is trying to figure out this Two of Flames. Do I want to leap towards or away from? And it feels like the Divine Masculine's keeping it more under wraps to themselves because of that Hermit, where the companion Divine Feminine wants to express the desire for it a bit more. A bit more with that abundance card. Let's keep going. Love Pack, Chuck Spezzano, 4 suits in one deck, like many decks are. The suit of problem is the half of the deck, because it's good to know what the problem is. Sort of the stuff that you need to be looking at to heal within yourself, or to learn how to heal within yourself in a twin flame. But then the other half of the deck are the suits of luck, healing, and grace, sort of like the things that help you heal, the things that help you learn how to heal yourself. So let's ask the Ascended Masters of Twin Flame Contracts, because they specialize. Did you know that? They're like a law firm. Yeah. There are ones for soulmate contracts, twin flame contracts. Really kind of fascinating meeting all of them, bit by bit. Nice deep breath. Oh, my Ascended Masters, please, 3 cards, 1 for the Divine Feminine, 1 for the Divine Masculine, and 1 for the overall contract. The Scorpio Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, Twin Flame contract for February, March 2020. Please, 1 for the Divine Feminine, Companion, face down. 1 for the Divine Masculine, Hermit, that one face down. They'll just stick one out and they'll poke me in my hand, so it's not always that top one. It's very Scorpio. And then please, my Ascended Masters of Twin Flame Contracts, one card for this Judge archetype, Twin Flame Contract, Scorpio Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, February to March 2020. Please, yeah, I'll take that one. Didn't see what it was. I think it's a healing card because of the colors on it, but I don't know. One more time. Divine Feminine Companion, with an abundance of magma ready to blow. With letting go. Now that can be letting go of the whole thing. Like we said, we've got this card of the dreamer here, perhaps dreaming of moving on, letting all of this go. Right? Literally someone in a boat rowing away, they're going, let them. But it can also be that letting go of built up fire. Particularly if it's abundance, if it's extra, extra, extra. Let it out, but do it in a healthy way, right? Maybe that's what the Divine Feminine is learning here, how to companion her own desires, her own element of fire, how to let them have their voice and express themselves without doing harm or damage to herself or anyone else. And of course there are ways to do that. Gestalt therapy, just off the top of my head, energy tapping, right? Bataka bats, go to the gym, work it out, masturbate, whatever it is that's not trying to repress it, but express it in a healthy way. So letting go both ways. And by the way, you can do both. Let someone go as well as give that energy, the space to breathe, and that can very much be an inner child issue. Now, it may not necessarily be sexual energy. It can be the creativity to want to do things but feeling repressed. Do you remember being a little kid and wanting to do all these things but you couldn't, right? That builds up. And then as we get older, we have different impediments that we place on ourselves, either personally or societally, right? So many people have all these artistic, creative energies in them, but they don't think of themselves as artists. So that creativity goes into the cell tissue and creates all sorts of crazy shit in their bodies. It's called creative congestion or creative constipation. Check out Caroline Mace's work, Sacred Contracts, particularly the artist archetype in the creativity family. Well, we actually don't have a creativity family here. We have the companion, which is the healing family, the hermit, which is the wisdom family, and the judge, which is also the wisdom family. So though we don't have a creative archetype here, that letting go of that Pele energy, that explosion, could be that, as well as perhaps letting go of this contract, or at least the people involved. So let's look for the hermit, right? Taking time out. Divine guidance. Like if this divine masculine is aware that they're being called inward to and for by divine guidance, then this process of the Two of Flames will be similar to the divine feminine. There might be a lot of heat between these two if it is sexual romantic, but really to get the guidance of is it fair? Is it healthy? Is it balanced, right? This judge archetype, both of them seem to be feeling that out. And he's got the gift of giving. So what is he going to give? But I think that's what the hermit, divine masculine, is figuring out. How do I give my truth? How do I give my point of view? How do I give this fire energy in a way that is fair? Balanced, right? Balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. Well, the power that they're looking at is the power of fire, will, desire, transformation, passion, anger, light and shadow, the whole spectrum there, which is why healing the archetypes, balancing, alchemizing the archetypes, no matter what goes on in this contract, is going to help each of them individually. It's what the contract is for, feeling pretty much. Because they're learning this, judge. It's something about the children there, and again, it can be literal children in the relationship or connected to the relationship, as well as because even the inner children, if you think of the heart chakra as the inner child, that's also the emotional part of this, the vulnerability, the innocence of everyone involved somehow has to be kept in balance here, but it is a Scorpio thing. It is a deep thing. It is perhaps a mysterious thing. Money, sex, power, creativity, all of that stuff. And with the card of the Fool, the Dreamer here, yes, there may be some childish illusions and dreams of things that may never come to be, but definitely there is a leap of faith here. So what's this last card? You got the healing card of the healing suit in the love pack. That this can be done. This can be healed. The Ascended Masters are saying there is healing here for both of them, but they can't really help each other heal. They're teaching each other how to heal themselves, and I'm going to say particularly the innocence within their hearts. The innocence of the heart, the soul, the true self, the inner child, all of that with a side, well, let's say of chocolate chips rather than fries, because it's the inner child, right? I mean, a kid will eat fries, but a kid will always go for a cookie. Ooh, now I want a cookie. It's probably just the Scorpio influence. I always want a cookie when I'm around Scorpios. Scrumptious. Tricky here, but no, with that Scorpio card and the leap of faith, but know that this is, well, all twin flame contracts are about healing. All soulmate contracts are about healing, but they may be wanting it in a way that it's not going to come where they're going to help each other. Now, if you watch that Matt Kahn video, he does say in there that there are these rare occasions where twin flame contracts transform into soulmate contracts, but I think they are way more the exception than the rule. I don't know. Like my guides are saying, yeah, like 1 out of 10,000 do that, but figure how many people are on the planet. A lot of fucking contracts, right? Considering one person can have several twin flame contracts in all different manifestations. One's a parent, one's a boss, one's a friend, right? So the healing here, go for the healing. Go, like, do what you got to do individually to go to the healing here to fulfill, if not complete, this stage of the contract. We're going to do 3 messages from the higher self through the Whispers of Love Oracle. For my Scorpios here, the first one will be for the Divine Feminine's higher self, obviously communicating. The second, the Divine Masculine. And the third, both of their higher selves, because they're essentially the ones that signed off on the contract to do this twin flamer. So we'll see what the Whispers of Love are. And I love this oracle because sometimes it just says, whack, this is what it is, or whack, this is what you got to do. Unfortunately, the word whack is nowhere in the deck because we all know crack is whack. Nice deep breath. Keep it sunny, keep it funny, keep it gay. Speaking of cracks, please, the higher selves of all involved. 3 cards, 1 for the Divine Feminine, 1 for the Divine Masculine, 1 for the contract itself in this Scorpio Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for February to March 2020. Please, 1, the higher self of the Divine Feminine companion, what's a whisper of love for her, face down. For the higher self of this Divine Masculine Hermit in this contract, face down, what is the whisper of love? And please, both of them, the higher selves of the Divine Feminine, the Divine Masculine, any higher selves involved, particularly if there are children involved here, 1 card in clarity for this Scorpio Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for February, March 2020, please. We got them down. Divine Feminine companion with abundance. Abundance of what? Creativity, sexuality, force, passion, desire, something explosive that's going to play itself out differently throughout the collective. Letting go, either letting go of the Divine Masculine, letting go of the contract in general, which would make sense with this card if they're dreaming of new beginnings, dreaming of the leap of faith of what's coming next. So let's see what's going on here. What's the whisper of love from the higher self? Spend some quality time together. It is imperative that we spend quality time with those we are in significant relationship with, listening to and talking to each other, which may be very frustrating for a companion when the other is in hermit mode, but you have to learn. That's why that letting go might be like, all right, I'm going to surrender this relationship to the divine. I let go and let God. I let go and let Goddess. Receive this twin flame contract that we have created. I release it to the will of the greater power of love. I accept that everything will be fully balanced in its own time and place, fully balanced like the judge in its own time and place. And I accept that there is a greater good manifesting through the divine plan for me and for this other one in this divine contract forever and evermore. So mote it be, right? Like, you got to learn to, if that's what you're learning how to heal, this is a healing card, right? A healing suit card, letting go. And that's what you're learning. And sometimes it's not letting go of the person as much as it's letting go of the form of how you want things to go. It's called the unraveling of the ego. When the ego does not get what it wants, it may go through all sorts of dramatics, but it's all part of the detox of the healing of your own heart, and then that affects the collective. In other words, the quantum field, when one heart is healed even a little bit, all hearts are healed, even a little bit. Let's look here. That's why these contracts exist. We're all one, but we're all healing different aspects. So for the divine masculine, we've got the Hermit with divine guidance. Great, going in. Now, by the way, what's interesting about this Two of Flames, in the cave there is the Chiron, the wounded healer, right? The centaur, Kentor, the original Greek. And that's Jason in the Argonauts, who has just been issued a quest by the king of the gods, Zeus, to go and retrieve the golden fleece. He gathers together the Argonauts and off they go. But this is before he even steps on a boat. This is, well, how do I want to do this? How do I want to plan it? And he actually goes within the cave to talk to the wounded healer, Chiron, who's also the Hierophant in this deck. Perfect. Divine guidance, perfect for the Hermit. And yet there is a giving here. Now, maybe this is a forgiving of some kind, but it is another healing card. All three cards here from the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack are the healing suit. So that's what I mean. The healing here is gigantic, but there needs to be some sort of giving of healing from the Hermit here. Maybe the divine masculine Hermit can do it through prayer, can do it through meditation to send out good vibes, or at least to, like, send a text, hey, I'm just taking care of myself. I'm in a phase of healing right now. I'll get back to you, I promise. And if you don't hear from me within a year, I'm dead. A Scorpio would say that. So what's going on here? The whisper of love from the higher self back to what you love. Your current situation is giving you an opportunity to reevaluate what you want, which is, of course, I think rather well indicated in this Two of Flames, going back into the cave, going back in for the divine masculine's own healing. Yeah. It couldn't be clearer in terms of, if you want to say the addition of these cards, this plus this plus this plus this equals getting back to what you love. See, I love this deck. This oracle's brilliant. Last line here, we've got the judge archetype right here in the overall. This relationship, is it fair? Is it balanced? Dealing with children, inner and outer, my sense of it. And maybe the innocence of that inner child that wants to jump and take the leap into something bigger and better, but with that Scorpio card there, definitely there are things hidden here. There are things that are uncertain, things that are mysterious, or at least dealing with the 8th house energies of money, sex, power, and the exchange of other people's resources. They want me to clarify that. Other people's resources means that you perhaps work at a job, right? So your resources, your time and your energy and your work. And in exchange for that, you get the other people's resources of a paycheck, pay in some kind. Now, you can't eat that paycheck, you can't eat that money, but now that money is your resource. You go to a restaurant or a supermarket and you exchange those financial resources for goods, right? Foods, services, etc. So if you can think of that in terms of money, but then think of that in terms of sex, and think of that in terms of power dynamic. The fair, right? What was the words here they use? Managing the fair distribution of power. Very, very, very Scorpio here. And really, that this is all about the healing, that the opportunity for you to heal yourselves here is great, big, huge. But the whisper is love is speak the language of love. Loving words have the power to change someone's life, including your own, which can very much mean inner child work, talking to that child, masculine or feminine, no matter which one you are here. Talk to the child of your own heart. If there are children involved, speak the language of love. Speak lovingly. Let them know. Be honest with what's going on, but be compassionate and kind in the language. And of course, between the two of you, since you've got spend quality time together talking and listening to each other for the divine feminine and the divine masculine getting back to what they love, then there really does need to be some clarity and some communication here in order to resolve at least this stage of this twin flame contract, because you got 3 healing cards from the Ascended Masters. Probably more healing of the divine children, of the inner child, than actual literal children here. But speaking the language of love is just key. Both of you need to do that with each other. You'll know the when, I would think. You don't want to do it while the child is tantruming in divine feminine. Sure you want to do that while Pele is active? While the divine masculine is indecisive in terms of how do I want to do this? How do I want to express this? Tricky. Shit. We have one more card down, if I can reach it. From the Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn, Hay House author. Intuitive healer. He's so cool. Go check him out. He wears sweater vests, or at least he used to, and I was forced to wear a sweater vest in private school when I was younger. I never quite got over it. I guess I should forgive that, huh? Low bells. We're going to ask the Ascended Masters of Twin Flame contracts for 1 card only. 1 card only. I can't believe I dream girled you. Nice deep breath, my Scorpios. I know, let's try and keep it light. For a Scorpio Twin Flame read, that's skill. Nice deep breath. Oh, my Ascended Masters of Twin Flame contracts, please 1 card, a healing mantra card for this Scorpio collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign Twin Flame contract for February, March 2020, please. What is the ultimate perfect healing mantra for them? We've got healing, healing, healing. The healing of letting go for the divine feminine. The healing of giving somehow for the divine masculine. And the healing card of healing. Really. The healing card of the healing suit. It's like they're getting their shit together and walking together to heal this together. So please, perfect healing mantra for this Scorpio collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus on Twin Flame contract, February, March 2020. One side of the card is the mantra, the other the name of the mantra, so I can look it up in ye old bookie book. Polishing my heart. Polishing my heart, which is apparently what you do is after you unbreak your heart, you polish it. Jeez, just time traveling today musically. Polishing my heart. The mantra itself. Feeling is a power that helps me heal. Thank God you're a water sign, at least one of you. Feeling is a power, and aren't we looking at all of these intense power dynamics here? Feeling is a power that helps me heal. Polishing my heart. Let's get this one for you, then we'll get you your overview. Hey, where are you? LMNOP. Polishing my heart. Feeling is a power that helps me heal. When your heart is polished, you are able to honor each emotion for its potent healing properties. Now, I just want to pause this for a second to say when you're having an emotion, particularly some of us who've been at this for a long time, like, oh, I have to heal this emotion. The emotion is evidence of the healing already taking place. That's a big shift. That's a big jump for some of us who've been processing our emotions for decades, right? Rebirthing, energy tapping, oh, I have to deal with this negative emotion, otherwise it'll fuck up my manifestation. No. This is about things being released from the cell tissue, from the quantum field up through you, not just for you, but for the collective. So a polished heart doesn't take sides, cast blame, or maintain grudges. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. It faces openly, willing to feel whatever sensations life may inspire, just for the chance to transform into higher aspects of perfection. And that's 8th house. That is transformation. That's Pluto, Hades, god of death, the underworld. alchemy itself. This mantra is ideal for unraveling emotional stuckness. Could be going on for both of them here, although not so much the divine feminine, but that's power fire. Yeah. But for this divine masculine, perhaps some emotional stuckness, easing worry, that's probably more the divine feminine, my sense, and cultivating bravery, particularly if there is a leap of faith towards or away from something. So there's your mantra, polishing my heart. Feeling is a power that helps me heal. And also to help you heal, let's look at this spread in overview. Magic clap. Because we've got this divine feminine companion with an abundance of Pele energy, 5 of flames, volcanic power that is either in itself the method of letting go, or these passions and desires and creativity are finally exploding. But with that comes that voice of the higher self saying, spend some quality time together. It is important that you spend quality time with those you are in significant relationship with, listening and talking to each other. So it feels like she's got a lot to express there, perhaps letting go of this contract or letting go of the pressure by sharing what needs to be said and heard. The divine masculine here, the hermit with divine guidance, makes sense, going within, getting that signal, pulling back, dropping off communication to really get clear with that 2 of wands where to put this fire energy. Do I put it here? Do I put it there? And darling, it might be, my gods, my angels, you've got to let me know. Should I stay or should I go? It's a bit of a clash. Really with that thing of giving there, that the healing there of giving, he's got to give his answer, he's got to give his truth, he's got to give it his best shot, he's got to give it his attempt at least at healing himself here by getting back to what he loves. His current situation is giving him an opportunity to reevaluate what he wants, which is really spelled out across this line. That line is so mathematical in a way. This plus this plus this equals that. So perfect. But then again, this overall contract here, they've got the judge, right, trying to somehow find the balance of power here involving children, right, whether it's inner child, literal children involved in the relationship, ancillary, like children in orbit somehow, needs to bring that all into fairness and compassion while managing the fair distribution of power, so that this dreamer card, right, this leap of faith can be taken, though it may be covert, hidden, or dealing with 8th house Scorpio stuff, money, sex, power, other people's resources. But the Ascended Master is saying it's all here for healing. When you've got the healing card of the healing suit, definitely that is the why of all of this. This must be about healing through speaking the language of love, that these 2 loving words have the power to change someone's life, including yourselves individually. But with the divine masculine, with that card of giving, and her with that healing card of letting go, definitely there needs to be some resolution verbally here by speaking lovingly and keeping in mind, until they're ready to do that, and maybe during and after having that conversation, we've got that polishing of the heart. Feeling is a power that helps me heal. So I'm going to love what rises. I'm going to let that inner child have its voice, have its emotions. I'm going to breathe through that. I'm going to feel the depths of that. I'm going to let all of those emotions, those feelings have their emotional arc to completion. And in that, the healing will already happen, as the emotions themselves are indications of healing already underway in this twin flame contract. Hey, Melchior, my baby kitty. Just baby kitty, he's a moose. Come on. It just came down. So, my Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, may you be blessed in this twin flame contract. I mean, twin flames are about learning how to heal yourself. Huge education here. You're getting like college level education going on here in this twin flame contract. So try and get some gratitude that at least at most what it's about is so much healing that you can learn how to heal yourself, learn how to love yourself, particularly the healing of the child of your heart, your own innocence, which holds the keys to your happiness, the pin codes to your creativity, and are the seeds of the higher self within the physical body. Go ask Matt Kahn. The man's a genius. Younger than me, but a genius. How's that for humility? Wishing you the very best and the very blessed of this twin flame contract. May you heal. May you grow. May you heal, 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 grow, grow, grow. Communicate, honestly speaking the language of love. Polishing your heart, because feeling is the power that helps you heal. And so it is. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed with all of this for February and March. But for now, my darling Scorpios, hail, farewell, and blessed be.